with that. Of course, a wonderful first season for Don Pyke in charge, again laying the foundation for what is going to be a long and successful time in the club, you would think. Can you please welcome the coach of the Adelaide Football Club, Mr. Don Pyke, up to the stage.
Thanks, Soda, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I'd take the opportunity before handing out some thank yous and some acknowledgements just to speak briefly about the last 11 months since I was appointed to the role, and I was grateful for the opportunity that's presented to me and entrusted the handling and the leadership of the footy club. In that time, we've spent, our coaching group and myself, building relationships, as Chappie mentioned, meeting new people, introducing and educating a new game plan and style of play to our players, building trademarks, giving feedback on trademarks, and creating a vision about what it is we want to achieve as a footy club. All that work with our training led us to a season in which we won 16 games and a final. And we ended up playing some really strong and powerful football, which at times was, I think, the envy of some of the other clubs in the competition, but ultimately left us a little short of where we wanted to get. When I started the year at the Members' Day, I said, and it's never truer than in our game, is that in this game you win some and you lose some. And the reality is we win and we lose together as a football club, and that's everyone from our members and supporters through to our players. And the importance of our losses is what we learn from them, and I thought throughout the year our players in our losses were able to learn and adapt really quickly, make changes. Unfortunately, as I said, those changes didn't lead us to where we wanted to get. But if I summarise it on reflection, I believe we've improved. There's more work to go, and I'll talk about that in a moment. If I can now move on to some thank yous, because there's a lot of people involved in our footy club and a lot of people who provide great support to allow the players and the coaches and myself to do what we do. But I'm going to start with the players. Coming into the football club, I was immediately impressed by the young men that we have playing for our football club. They're fantastic young men. Their efforts throughout the year, their engagement in taking on board some new style of play, their drive to try and get better and continually improve has been welcomed, and it's been a pleasure to work with these guys. So to them, I thank them. I thank their wives and partners for their support. The job they do is challenging. We put them under a fair bit of stress at times. They're tired, and I appreciate the fact that these guys are committed to the task of being as good as they can be, and that the people behind them provide great support. So thank you to the players and their partners and wives. I'd like to also thank the coaches, the analysts, our high performance team, other members of our football department. We've got a high level of professional people in there who work really hard, provide great energy and fantastic care for our players, again to allow and support them to be as good as they can be. I won't individualise them, but those guys do a mountain of work, very supportive of myself from a coaching viewpoint and the methodology we're trying to teach. And again to their wives and partners, because I know there's a lot of time away from home. Thank you to all those guys for the time and effort they put in as well. To the board, executive and staff of the football club, I thank them for the support they provided to not only myself but to our players. We're a big club. We've got a lot of different levels within our club that support what we do, and each of them has a fantastic role to play, but they allow us and provide us the leadership to go forward and try and deliver what we need to on field, so thank you to all those people. And to our members and fans, lastly, for their intense passion, their dedication, their pride and their loyalty to our footy club. And it's significant when you travel away, and even last weekend in Sydney, it was wonderful to see so many Crows supporters. We have a wide reach, we have a great fan base, and we have wonderful support. And to be able to turn up week in, week out Adelaide Oval with 50,000 people playing, 50,000 people watching is a fantastic environment for our players. So to all those people, thank you for your support. Just a few individuals I'd like to acknowledge. Chappie's already mentioned Dr. Potter, who's leaving after 20 years. I'll get on to David Noble in a minute. So to Potts, thank you very much. I've only obviously worked with you this season, but a guy with his experience has been invaluable and allowed us to keep our players on the park. This year we had 6 All-Australians in the nomination of 40, which was the most of any club. So the guys who made that, congratulations. But to me it highlights the evenness of our group and the fact that we've got a number of players recognised as being in the elite level of the competition. To Nathan Van Berlo, who I know there's probably a presentation later on, but the VB. VB epitomises to me what the club's about. He's a wonderful man. He was here when I was here last time, and I think he, as I said when he left, has left this club in a better place for his presence, which I think is a great thing for Nathan, and he's been wonderful. This time of year is always difficult because we've got to make some changes to lists and we keep moving our list forward. And today, unfortunately, we said goodbye to a couple of players in Luke Loudon and Keenan Ramsey, both fine young men who've given great service to the footy club. And unfortunately, we say goodbye. But to those 2 guys, I wish you all the best for the future and whatever you pursue on the way to the next level. And to David Noble, who's heading off to Brisbane. It's interesting because David was pivotal in getting me here last year, and it'll be sad to see him go. He's not only been a colleague of mine over years, but he's become a really good friend. I wish you all the best, David, to you and Sarah. I hope everything goes well, although he has promised me at least 1 win over Brisbane next year. So I look forward to you delivering on that promise, Nobes. And to all the award winners tonight, well done, guys. It's been a long year, so you guys have worked hard, and I hope you are well recognised for the efforts you put in. But where does that take us going forward? So we take last weekend, as much as we're not playing this weekend, which is still going to take some time to get over for me, and I'm sure the players. As I said, I think we've improved, but clearly there is more required for us to be able to compete and consistently beat top 8 sides. So we don't sit here comfortable, and as I've said previously in the media, good is often the barrier of great because people get comfortable being good. It's not easy, but it's comfortable being good. And if we as a footy club are going to sit back and pat each other on the back and say it's been a really good year, well done, we won't progress. And the reality is we need to progress if we aspire to achieve great things. So how does that work? Well, from now, our players go into a break and our players have been left with a really clear view of what's required in the off-season to make sure they come back prepared and ready to train to the level required to get us to where we want to get. We have to evolve our game plan. Have to continue to look for new ways, new methods that can take things that we worked on this year, which is successful, and learn from other clubs and learn from other sports to ensure that we remain at the cutting edge in our industry. We've got to keep building and living our trademarks. So we've got some work to do in our trademark and how we build that and how we make that truly come to life in our football club to take that next step. We have to improve our fundamentals. And I spoke about this at the start of last year. Our basic fundamentals of playing the game is really what holds you in great stead come high-pressure situations, which is what finals are all about. So in fundamentals, I talk of the basics of the game, whether they be aerial, they kicking, handball, all those things tie together to create the teams that allows us to play the way we want to play. And we've got to continue to educate our players and educate them on leadership so they are able to drive the elite expectations we have as a footy club. So they're the things we will focus on. And as coaches, we'll have a break, but then we'll be back into work to make sure that by the time pre-season starts, we're truly ready to take that next step. Our challenge is to make sure we create an environment which still stimulates our players, engages our players and makes sure that they're on the same path and on the same page as us as they have been all year. When we talk about our players, we talk now in a really holistic fashion. We're not a footy club that believes in just trying to produce good footballers. We're about producing great people. And the reason why that's important is because that's what allows them to not only have success here, but also future life. So when we talk of developing them and their continual improvement, we want to work on their game skills. We want to work on their game knowledge. We want to work on their leadership. We want to work on what they're doing off-field. We want to make sure their mental capacity and their relaxation is in a space where they can be as good as they can be. And our aim as coaches is to ensure every player, every year, keeps getting better. Because if they keep getting better, we will, by fact, keep getting better ourselves. So that's the challenge, and that's where we're headed. I've been fortunate over my career to be part of successful footy clubs. And ultimately, success is measured by playing finals and winning finals, and giving yourself the opportunity to improve year upon year to ultimately make that step. We've now made finals for 2 years in a row. And as I said, we sit here somewhat satisfied with what we've achieved, but not in no way content. And the importance of what we're going to do in the years going forward is about making sure, A, we win enough games to make finals and drive ourselves to a level whereby we can continually be in a position to play and win those finals. There's no real secret in this game. If you want success, you've got to work. And so that'll begin when the players return to pre-season in the end of November. Finish with one more thank you, and that's to my wife for her support, Jodie, and my daughters, Chandler and Ashton. It's a pretty significant role to undertake this one, and it's one which I took on board, in the fortunate position of having great support, the love and care of my wife, and to her, thank you very much. Thank you, Jodie. So there's work to be done, and work we'll do. Enjoy our off-season, but we'll return ready to go, understanding that if we aspire to push on, we need to do it in the right fashion, in the right manner. And I'm extremely confident, have great belief in our players to take that next step. It's a matter of time. Thank you very much.